Hey guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 16 of season 3, the final episode of what has been almost a never-ending season 3. It seems like 16 episodes is way too long for a season. We'll have to shorten up that. It was a big season in Europe, wasn't it? But today, this is a summer transfer special. We're going to turn professional as a club, which is a big deal. I'm really looking forward to that. And we're going to go through and try and build a team that can hopefully... I don't know, what should we want to do next season? Do we want to... I'd like to think... I mean, the minimum we want to do is the group stage of that Europa 2 Cup thing again. I wonder if, as a professional team, we will have pretty much... Last season, we didn't have Glennon at the start of the year. We didn't have Reece Williams. There's a number of loanees we didn't have. I'd like to think that maybe we could push for group stage of Europa League this time. That would be an amazing achievement, to be honest, so quickly in just the fourth season of the series. But we'll wait and see what I don't know who we're going to sign yet. Never mind how far we're going to get in Europe. So we're going to find all out this episode. We'll get our first opponents in the Champions League qualifying, which is exciting. That usually kicks off early July. We're at the end of April now, so we have to get our business done early to make sure we have the strongest squad possible ready for that. Ready for that qualifier in the Champions League. And we can't really do much until May 14th when we turn professional. Then we can start offering out professional contracts. We'll decide who we want to give professional contracts to. It's going to be really exciting. Now, if you haven't checked last episode, just while I see this here in the goal of the season, if you haven't voted yet in the goal of the season competition, there is still time to do that. I have checked as at the time of recording, it's currently Backhill Benny strike 60% of the vote, Bus and Brew strike 40% of the vote. No votes for the other two goals, which is a bit harsh on Sam Fowler and Strike, I think, to be honest. But I'll give you sort of a final tally of that on Monday for next episodes, sort of for the new season. But yeah, if you haven't voted for last episode's goal of the season yet, make sure you go and do that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, as they all say. And I will be back maybe when we're professional. There may not be much happening before that. Alright, just quickly, we have had a new major club record broken this season. Now, what could the club record be? Let's go find out. So there we go, Luke Bus and Brew, a new most goals in a season record, 27 goals, breaking his previous record from 2 seasons ago of 25, so well done to him. Another record's been broken, not as major perhaps, but Louis Gray, 25 clean sheets, has broken his previous record of 23. So at both ends of the field, we've set records this season, which is a great thing. Alright, on to professional status perhaps now. Okay guys, gather around, it's happened early, we are officially a professional club. Now that means all of this junk, it has to go. Sorry guys, look, I've googled it, this is what professional teams do. From now on we'll be on a strict diet of fruits, vegetables, chicken, boiled chicken, fish. No chips, Olmark, I know what you're thinking. And while we're on the topic of chips, there will be strictly no ketchup. That stuff is poison to footballers. Well, there we have it. We have turned professional. It's happened early. It's the 24th of April. We've barely started and we've turned professional. I don't understand why it's happened. I thought I'm sort of sworn it was the 14th of May it was supposed to happen, but it's happened early. Happy days. They've offered me a new contract. It's a 3-year deal there, as you can see. But yeah, vending machines are being removed. As chef has been hired, we will be eating nothing but boring, plain, horrible tasting food from now on, because that's what professional athletes do. So I won't be doing that. I'll be having my French fries and as much tomato sauce as I want on it. But there we go. We have become a professional club. Now we get to the business of having a look as to who we want to renew. Now let's start though by having a look if it does make any difference to the players that we can sign. Is there any 91? So it's the same sort of players. There's not like we suddenly got access to all these world stars, which is kind of what I expected. But there we go. So this makes life interesting. If we have a look at finances as we turn professional, just under $4.5 million in the bank. We haven't got our new transfer budget for the new season yet. So I need to be a little bit careful with what sort of wages we're going to be offering here. Now, one thing we do want to do now that we've turned professional, that's in the bag, and we have the money in the bank, is we want to update facilities. Let's update training facilities, please. Board. Technology is constantly developing. If we have the money to do it, let's take advantage. I agree. How much is that going to set us back? That is only 95 grand. What are we doing? We're just adding an extra shed in or something. All right, so we have plenty of money left to go and do it again. Let's do youth facilities. Youth facilities. Give them the best chance of developing to the best players they can. They agree with that. How much is that going to set us back? 350 grand. That's more like, at least we're building something worthwhile. And while we're at it here, let's get me some data analysis facilities. More thorough reports. There we go. And that's going to be, what, 10 million pounds? 100,000. So why did the data analysis... Well, I guess it's nothing. So they've got to actually build the shed to put, a laptop in. So that makes a little bit more sense. But there we go. We have begun to upgrade the club. We have become professional. It is exciting times at Bala Town. Oh, this is good. This is really, really good. Let's go re-sign some players, shall we? Let's have a quick look. I think the first guy we probably want to re-sign, having seen what's happened, is Brew. Now, he's currently on £200 a week. Let's make you a full-time professional here, mate. Let's offer you a contract. There it is there. A regular starter. I think he's probably still earned that role. I don't know who we're going to sign. Emergency backup is recommended. I tell you what, whoever's saying that has absolutely no respect. So let's do that. Negotiate contract. He wants me to... Right, let's just use existing. We can't use existing because it's part-time. Okay, well, let's ask for a suggestion. Okay, so if it's only 250, we'll see if we can get that down a little bit. Agent can go to a place that is not nice. Top goal scoring bonus. We only have to pay that once, so we give that to all our strikers. We're not going to get relegated, so that's fine. I do like to have my season goal target bonuses there. So if he scores goals, he gets extra money. That's fine. Let's see if we can keep him on the same money, shall we? That would be cheeky, but let's see if we can do it. He wants £400 a week, so he wants to double his money, basically, which, to be fair to him, he's probably earned. So let's not be too harsh on him here. Winning the Welsh Cup. We're not going to... That's a stupid bonus. Let's try that. We have all summer to try and negotiate him. He does still have a contract, but there we go. So Brew, he didn't want that much, realistically speaking. For someone who got 27 goals last season, £350 on a full-time deal. I'm assuming it's a full-time deal. It's not the worst. So there we go. So maybe it's not going to be as bad as I feared. Guys, I will go and re-sign some players. Hopefully we'll sign some players as well, and we'll be back to unveil some of those signings. Alright, a quick update on players having signed professional contracts. Daniel Evans, our young centre-back, has signed a new contract. Somewhere that seems like the minimum wage that people are expecting is somewhere between 200, sort of more 230, 250 pounds a week. Which is obviously a little bit more than we were paying previously, but we can deal with it. Owen Taylor, this is a young utility guy I want to keep because I think he could be useful. He's signed a professional contract. Romario Vieira has signed a professional contract. Actually, I think we got him on similar, if not less money than he was on before. Serafino signed the deal, £300 a week for him. I gave him a 2-year contract. I still think there's a good player in there. So hopefully now as a full-time professional, he can avoid injuries and we'll get that out of him. Anderson, one of our young strikers, has signed a new contract. I'm not sure about this one, $230 a week. We'll see how he goes. Mark James, another youngster, $250 a week for him. Again, we're going to kind of see how he goes. Free kick taking at 16. I think that could be really, really useful in the league, if nowhere else. So I want to give him a chance. Gosset signed a new deal. Hooray for Denny Gosset. 3-year deal for him, $240 a week. He's not worth that much, but it's Denny Gosset. We've got to keep him. Allmark has signed a new deal. £250 a week he's now on. Hopefully we'll really, really see him kick on now and become a sort of a real quality player at this level. Brew signed his new deal. £350 a week for him. Again, let's really, imagine if he kicks on, he could be anything. Watt has signed a new deal. I didn't really know about this one. £230 a week for a midfielder that may or may not work for us. Worst case scenario, we'll let these guys go on free transfers at the end of their contracts, but he was a 2-year deal, I think. No, a 3-year deal, so that was risky. Parsons has signed a new deal. $650 a week for him, a 3-year deal. He was really good for us last year. He's young. I think that's worth it. And I think he was already on relatively high wages. We maybe even got him for less as well, actually. And the last one that so far has signed a new deal is Jake Nichols. Again, a youngster, decent right back at sort of at league level, so let's hope he comes through. Players that didn't want to agree contracts just yet. James Waite wanted way too much money, over $1,000. He wanted like £1,500 a week, which is a little bit more than we can afford. Reece Williams didn't want to sign a contract yet, and a couple of others that have interest in them, so they're sort of looking or waiting elsewhere, but nothing to panic about yet. It's only the first time, and I'm trying to not offer people too much wages. And more contracts that have been signed. Ewan Dixon has signed a new deal, 3-year deal or 2-year deal for him. 2-year deal for him on $250 a week, which is good. Glennon has signed a new contract, $750, but he's club captain and he's a good centre back. Hopefully he'll develop technically as a full-time professional now. Tristan Held, however you say that. I found this guy in the under-18s. Didn't really realize he was such high potential, so we've offered him a full-time contract, £110 a week for him. Let's see if he comes through. Bakari signed a new deal, actually on less money than before, which is good. And we've got him as a regular starter, not a first-team player, sort of a first-team or anything more important than that. So that could be potentially good for us as well. And we have also re-signed our assistant, Chris Lewin, to a new contract. He's a really good staff member, so we've got him in long-term. I'm going to wait for staff contracts to expire and see how we go. We get allowed to have a sports scientist finally, so we'll get him in, which is good. And I think that's just about it for current players signing professional contracts. We'll see where we go from here. Okay, everybody, thank you for coming out. Thank you. Now, this is a very, very proud day for us all at Bala Town as we unveil our brand new data analysis facility. Now, she's a little drafty and rain is a big issue, but nonetheless, it's better than nothing, I think. Is it better than nothing? So there we go, we have our data analysis facilities. Very nice inside, beautiful inside. Poor data analysis facilities, but they have been completed, so there we go. We might look to go again on that maybe before the season starts, because, yeah. Anyway, that's not the reason we've come back. Well, that's not the only reason. We have our what they call budgets, our board set budgets. We have 22 grand a week and a transfer budget of £2.7 million, which is absolutely amazing. So we're currently spending 12 grand a week. We're going to lose some players, obviously, with contract expiring shortly. And so it's 22 grand a week. So we'll have about 12 grand a week we can spend on players. I might have another crack at James Waite. He wants the most we could offer previously before these wages came in was, I think we could offer 1,300 a week, and he wanted, I think it was 15 or 16. He would not go below that. So we'll have another crack at him now, just because, you know, what I don't want to do, I'm cautious here, is signing players and then finding better players when contracts expire. So I don't want to go too hard too early, but I think James Waite proved himself to be a very valuable player for us, so he's probably worth it. But anyway, now we have our budgets. Hopefully we'll get some signings in. It's still only May 3rd, there's time. Okay, we have some end-of-season awards for the Welsh League system. Hector Ingram was named as Player of the Year. That is the striker I looked at signing last season, went to the New Saints. Don't really understand why he's Player of the Year, but anyway, there he is. He also was top goal scorer. Bussenbrew came in third. 15 of his 27 goals just in the league. Wonder how many of these guys got in Europe, though. That's the thing, isn't it? Young Player of the Year, Reece Williams did win that. Now, it looks like we're going to re-sign him to a permanent, a full-time professional contract. Not much of a pay. I think it was about £900 a week we're going to pay him. I won Manager of the Year. Hooray for me. The chairman is pleased. And in the team of the season, this is absolutely outrageous. We've won the league, and we've only got Louis Gray and Bussenbrew in the team of the season. That is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. There you go. And some team of the season bonuses there as well. But that's the Welsh Season Awards. Now, I know some of you are interested always to see how the lower leagues played out. So let's go and have a look at that now. In the north, it was Gap Connors Key who won and will be getting promoted. And thank Christ for that, because I did not want to have to pronounce that team name ever again. So long may they stay in the second division. And in the south, it was Port Talbot Town. I got there, I think, in the end. They won it over Haverfordwest. So well done to them. They will both be joining us in the Welsh Premier League next season. Okay, we have breaking news, and we have two big players that have joined us. Well, one's joined us, one's staying with us. James Waite has signed a contract, almost £1.5 grand a week, 1,400 a week. It's a 2-year deal. Now, it's a big wage gamble for us. So what I'm thinking here is we're getting him on a free. We'll keep him for 2 years, and if he's working out, brilliant. And if not, we'll just let him go on a free, and he's going to be a sort of quality player that is at a very good player for us for at least the next 2 seasons, I would think. And he did it for us this year, so I think it's a good signing for us. He can cover wide areas as well. He could play up front at an absolute stretch. We know all about James Waite. I think he'll be a good signing for us. Let me know what you think in the comments. It is a big chunk of wages for us, but I'm glad we've got him. And the other one is Reece Williams did finally sign his full-time professional contract. Again, a 2-year contract. £950 a week, which is a lot, but again, he was a player of the season, let's not forget. He's a really good centre-back for us, so again, I figured it's probably worth it. Full-time professional is only 21, he might even develop into yet a better player. We might even be able to sell him on for quite a profit. So I think that's a good signing for us as well. So Waite and Williams are both going to be Bala Town players on a professional status next season. Alright, another loanee back for next season. Joe Lewis, the centre-back, has signed for us permanently. Goes through July 1st, so about a month's time. We're June 1st right now in game. £625 a week. It's not too bad. He was solid for us. He's a good defensive player. We'll get him in full-time, and like I say, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, how many years contract was it? 2-year deal. So, you know, we get him for free, we let him go for free, and we pay him a little bit of money in the meantime. And you know what? How bad could he be? He's going to be a really, really good player for the Welsh Premier League. At absolute worst, he can play in the league. I think he'll do well in Europe. He did well in Europe for us last year, didn't he? He played, averaged 7-10. So, yeah, very, very good. Happy to have him in. More pieces fall into place. The one good thing we have here is that we're going to have a strong team when the Champions League qualifiers start. That's only about a month or so away, so it's looking good. Let's see if we can get in some actual players that haven't played for us before, though. Okay, just a quick update on European competition here. Now, the European competition rankings have been announced. Now, the Welsh Premier League has moved up 12 places to 79th. It hasn't really affected our how many qualification places we get yet. We're still a long way off improving that, but that's good to see. And the European club rankings, we have moved up 259 places to 145th of all the rankings. Now, if we have a quick look at this, I don't know where this is going to take us. It will take us to the right screen. So 145th, it's a lot of numbers here, I know, but there we are there. Now, we're defending basically nothing, a quarter of a point. That's absolutely nothing. We got 8 points last year, to give you an idea. So if we can do, and it's a big if, getting, you know, we lucked out a little bit with the draws last year where we got to. But if we can do the same again, that would take us to 18.5 coefficient points. Now, 18.5 coefficient points as things stand. Now, obviously, this is a movable thing. I mean, look at that. We'd be looking at, there's a lot of teams here that would have that. So we'd be looking at moving inside the top 100, roughly. 95th, 94th. Wigan's 94th right now. They're just there. That's all the English clubs that haven't been in Europe for a while, basically. So we could, you know, be looking, if things really go away, moving into the top 80. That is insane for a Welsh team. So just to sort of give you an update of where we stand overall in Europe right now. 145th. Where do we go there? Anyway, 145th, but we can still move up a lot if we have another good season in Europe. Okay, breaking news, and we have our Champions League draw. Now, unfortunately, it's a bit of an anticlimax. There was no draw. It just kind of told us who we had. But I think we're already seeing the benefits of our improved reputation. Because look at this. We have drawn a team from the first qualifying round. Now, I would imagine the Estonian team would probably come through that. Maltese, Andorra, and San Marino. I'd imagine the Estonian team would come through that, but I don't really know. But I tell you what, that is definitely better than AEK Athens, who we had and beat last year, let's not forget. So that's excellent. And then in the second round, should we get past that, we would have either, this gets a little bit tougher here, but Legia Warsaw, who of course narrowly knocked us out of the Europa League qualifying last year. We lost home and away 2-1 to them. Or Shamrock Rovers of Ireland. You'd imagine Legia Warsaw would get through and a chance for revenge. Now let's remember, we need to win 2 ties, which is what we did last year, because we beat AEK Athens, and then we beat the Icelandic team in the Euro Cup. So if we win 2 ties, we will find ourselves back in that Euro 2 Cup group stage. This should be 1 tie. So that means we need to win 1 more tie, out of either this one, parachuting into the Europa League, or then in a final qualifying round of the Euro 2 group thing. We need 1 more tie to get back into that group stage, and we saw how much money that bought us. So really, really positive signs there. Now, one thing I have been doing here is spent a lot of time on our staff. Now, look at this little gem of a director of football that we found. We picked him up. He was an amateur director of football at Cardiff Met Uni. An absolute star. We're paying him $1,000 a week as a 3-year contract, as long as I could get him. Basically, what we're going to do with him, as I've said it, so he can go out and initiate transfers with young players. Because he's signed a lot of good players for Cardiff Met Uni. Let's not forget Gosney, who hasn't yet signed a professional contract with us. But really, really happy to get him in. And if we have a look at our coaching side of things, still tinkering, trying to get things absolutely perfect here. But we've got a new goalkeeping coach as well, Franz Wuffart. sure. Wolfart, very, very good. Could do a little bit better mentally, perhaps. But again, we're paying him money for just a 1-year contract. But that should help the goalkeepers. I'm waiting for contracts to expire. We're June 16th now to try and get players in. If we have a quick update of who has not signed professional contracts yet. Kane, Lewis, Edwards, and Kelly we know are leaving, as is Lynch, the backup goalkeeper. Denham, we basically just want to sell him at this point, so he hasn't signed a professional contract as of yet. Jordan Jones did. I've signed him 1-year deal just to see how he develops, because he is 4-star rated by the coaching staff. Muddy Moo hasn't yet signed a contract. I think we're going to look to move him on. Henry Jones has not yet signed a contract. I don't think it's too much to worry about. It says he's unhappy, and I think it's because he's waiting for this promise that we're going to develop young players to improve the standard of the squad. His contract still has 2 years to run, so he's not going to leave us for not renewing, but I'd like to get him on a full-time contract. And is there anybody else? There is somebody else down here, isn't there? Emlyn Moore, I don't know if we want to get him on a full-time contract. He came through with Allmark, and he just has not developed when we sent him out on loan. Gosney is the one. We want to keep him. His problem is that there's interest in him, and therefore he does not want to sign a new contract. Again, we have him for another 2 years. He's not going to leave for nothing. But we'd really like to sign you on a full-time professional contract. So there's a couple. It's Gosney and it's Henry Jones that are being a pain in the backside right now. We did get Backhill Benny in on a full-time deal as well. So that's good. But we know that Lewis and Waite are joining us. Follerin does not want to sign on a contract with us as of yet. He wants too much money. We'll wait and see what we do there. Okay, while we are waiting for transfers to come in, and I promise we will try and sign somebody this window, an update on our stature. We have increased our stature. We now are 1.5 stars, a full half star ahead of the New Saints. Get that up, you New Saints. Which is excellent. We are now the most reputable club in Wales, and we're only going to grow from here, let's hope anyway. Okay, we have officially got our draw for the Champions League. We are playing the Estonian team. The game is actually taking place 6th of July, so we've got about 2 weeks. Maybe we won't be signing any players. I didn't realize it was so soon. And a massive mistake on my part, we haven't played any friendlies yet. So we've got 2 weeks to try and get this level of match sharpness ready to go for a competitive Champions League fixture. Have I screwed up beyond repair? Hope not. Okay, just a quick update. 2 of our players have officially joined now. Joe Lewis, a B, signing James Waite, a B+. I thought there'd be a little bit more than that, actually. We knew what we were getting with them, didn't we? Which is why I wanted to sign them. So he's worth 2.6. I'm hoping that the values will go up a little bit now that we're professional, but I don't really know how it will affect it. And James Waite there, again, 5-star player, potentially. Yes, that's a lot of money, but like I said, we signed him on a free. It's a 2-year deal. We can let him go on a free at the end of it if we have to. So that's sort of the update there. We're trying to get Muddy Moo out the door just because I don't think we're going to use him anymore, even though he's not the worst, but he's certainly not the best. Otherwise, yeah, we've played a couple of friendlies, and I'm trying to get some signings done that we can loan players now, which is something, obviously July 1st. Not obviously, but it's July 1st, so contracts have expired. So I'm seeing if we can get somebody in. I'll tell you what, there was one player I thought we might have a look at here. A striker, Chinese striker from Wolverhampton. He wants over $2,000 a week. I mean, he's good, but $2,000 a week is a lot of money for us if he doesn't come off. So, yeah. Okay, breaking news. We have a signing in. Don't get too excited. It's a backup goalkeeper, George Ratcliffe. He might actually challenge for first choice goalkeeper, to be honest. We've got him in on loan from Cardiff. I'll have a quick look at him here. Potentially he's okay. He's 3-star now, so I don't think he's going to take the shirt off of Louis Gray, who was brilliant for us last year. But he's decent. He'll do a good job. We need a backup. £625 a week we're paying him. What he is he's better than our current backup, who of course is Lynch. His contract had expired. Luckily he didn't leave. He was happy to stay. We'll let him go now though. But it's an upgrade at number 2. And that is, actually we can just let you go now, mate. Thank you for your service. Yeah, so there we go. George Ratcliffe will be battling it out with Gray for the number 2, or for number 1 shirt, I should say. We're trying to get Sam Follerin in. The problem we have is that we had initially bid for him on loan. Middlesbrough then changed his status for listed for loan to transfer listed. So we've made a bid. The problem is, are we going to are we going to be able to outdo financially in wages League One Millwall? I'm going to say we might struggle to do that. So certainly for a fee that we want, which is a shame because I really wanted to get him back in, to play right wing for us. The only maybe advantage that we have is that I'm a favoured personnel of his. But yeah, we may struggle to get him back, which means we need to find another right winger. David, are we at home or away in Estonia for the first leg? We're at home. Hang on, mate. Hello? Oh, Sam Follerin. Good to hear your voice, mate. Now, is this about the contract? It is, but you have some demands. Of course you have demands, mate. You're a professional footballer. Let's hear them. You want us to strengthen our attacking options. Okay, I can look to do that for you. Anything else? Improve coaching staff. Mate, we are always trying to improve ourselves here at Bala Town. You know that. Anything else? You want a big pay rise? All right, I mean, how big are we talking here? All right, mate. I mean, I can see what I can do. I can only speak to the board. You also want to treat us like a stepping stone. Look, I'll be honest with you, mate. We're trying to build for future success here. I'm really going to need you to buy into that if you're going to sign for us. And you also want us to sign your mate. Listen, Sam, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we're a professional club now. We do not deal in these sort of shenanigans. Okay, so we are offering Sam Fuller and his contract. Look at the demands this guy has. We'll look to strengthen the team in the following areas. Attackers. I mean, I don't want to promise. I will just promise it, so it might give us a chance. We'll look to sign a friend or former teammate. No, we will not be doing that for you. We'll improve the coaching team. I mean, I'm always trying to improve that, so maybe we will promise that. We'll give the player a big pay rise. He's on £950 a week. No. We'll allow the player to treat the club as a stepping stone. Absolutely not. He wants to be a star player. That's fair enough, because he will be initially, I think. So he's agreed to that. Let's have a look at what his wage demands are. Do we want to pay 1.9? Is he... The problem is that, okay, first of all, a minimum release fee of 12 grand. I mean, we're paying... He's going to be more trouble than he's worth, isn't he? We're paying 7.5 for him, so I mean, we'll make a profit on it. So maybe we go with that. I don't know if this guy's going to be worth it. Let's see what he wants. 2.5. Let me know what you think, but I don't think that's too much. It's too much money. Oh, Ap Gareth. A pleasure to meet you, mate. Pleasure to meet you. Welcome to Bala Town. Come with me and I'll come and introduce you to the rest of the boys. It's just down here, mate. We're currently upgrading our training facilities, so we temporarily had to move the gym down to the basement. Haha, and you can stay in there. You're not going to hurt us anymore, mate. So there you go, we got our man. He will never ever hurt us again. Ap Gareth is a Bala Town prisoner more than player, to be honest. But also, to look at it realistically, we are actually short a right winger. He might prove himself to be a useful player in the league for us. I don't see him being much above that level, but he's an emergency backup could still improve. We've signed him as a squad player, so it's not like we've necessarily lured him here under false pretenses. We've definitely locked him away, though. But, yeah, you never know. He might actually prove to be a useful signing. £230 a week, so it's not much. We paid, was it £500 we paid for him? Next to nothing. So there we go. Ap Gareth is a Bala Town player. Okay, we are now at game day of our first Champions League qualifying game. That will be, of course, on Monday. We do have quite a name in on trial, no less. James Chester, of course, formerly at Aston Villa, Welsh international. I don't know if we're going to sign him. I just thought we'd have a look at him and see what he would want in terms of wages. Potentially, let me know what you think. He's old, though. If he did want wages, he'd be a star. I don't know. I'll wait and see exactly what we see, but... Star player, but maybe past his best. Yeah, like I say, we'll wait and see on that one. But a relatively quiet, unfortunately, transfer special. So sorry about that, guys. We're still early. Like, there's still 2 months to go until the window closes. So there's no rush in that sense. But we have had to register our squad. Now, in terms of players holding out that haven't yet signed, we've got another guy in on trial. I don't think he's going to amount to anything, unfortunately. A couple of guys here that are still on part-time contracts. Henry Jones... We need to get him on a full-time contract. He's waiting to see youngsters improve, or you want to see the attack improve, basically. So we'll get there. Like I say, he's got 2 years left on his contract. I just like him to be training first time. Ridian Williams, I don't think he's going to be staying. We'll see what happens with him. Denham, I think we're going to look to sell him on as well, because until he signs a new contract, there's no point keeping him He's a good player. What I want to do is try and sell him on. I don't really care about the transfer fee. He's only worth $1,000, but it's the 50%, the sell-on fee that I want. So we'll see what happens there. Muddy Moo hasn't signed a new contract yet. I'm not too fussed if we keep him or not, to be honest. Emlyn Moore, I probably will offer him a full-time contract just to see if he develops, but he's going the wrong way fast, to be honest. And Connor Gosney, another one I want to sign on a proper contract, full-time contract. But as long as he's wanted by other, I wonder if he'll do it now that he's only wanted on loan by another team. Bear with me here, people, and he will do it now. Okay, so I'll go back and do that off camera. I don't want to waste time here. So let's have a quick look at the team that we have ready to go in the Champions League proper here. The group's not the proper, but the qualifying. In terms of strikers, Serafino is still rated as one of our better guys. We'll see how that goes. The main guys, of course, we know Damien Allmark, an absolute star. James Waite won't really play up here. Brew will be the main guy, though. Full-time training, hasn't really agreed with him so far, so that's a little bit disappointing, but I have had a word with him. And we'll see how that goes, and then we've got a couple of other options there. If we were to play with wingers, James Waite is not really the main guy. Neto, who we did re-sign, just because we didn't really have any other options, he could play on the right. Serafino right now will be one of the main guys, and to be honest, up Gareth. I mean, we'll let him out of prison so he can come in and play games if and when we need him. But yeah, that may actually prove to be a useful signing for us. On the left, we know Henry Jones can play out there. Neto will be the main guy. Serafino can play out here as well, as can James Waite. But Neto, as I said, is the main guy there. Number 10s, we have two main guys in there. Henry Jones, but the guy we've paid a lot of money for, James Waite, will be the main guy in that position. If we go a bit further back in midfield, Backhill Benny is still rated as one of our better options. If he just passes the ball forward. Parsons, of course, is a good option there. James Waite can play a bit further back. Henry Jones can play back here, as can Romario Vieira, a good player for us, and potentially could get even better. If we go and have a look at the further options here, now I can never remember how to do it. I think I clicked this one, don't I? Muddy Moo, who we look to get rid of. Gossé, of course, can play back here. Jordan Jones, who I did end up giving a full-time contract to, just a year's extension to see how he goes. Owen Taylor can play back here as well, as can Callum Watt. So lots and lots of options, lots and lots of good options in the centre of midfield. DMs, we know roughly what we have there, the same sort of players. Centre of defence. Now, if James Chester, apparently he would be our best centre-back should he sign. Pace worries me a little bit, physically worries me a little bit, to be honest, but mentally he might be worth doing. I don't know what to do there. Reece Williams, of course, is one of our big centre-backs. Joe Lewis, who we've signed permanently, is a good option at centre-back. Denham, right now, is a good option, but as I said, will probably be leaving. Glennon, we know, can play in the centre of defence as well. And we have a couple of other good options there as well in Dan Evans, who's an absolute star, and off please game. Muddy Moo, who are training there, and Connor Gosney is a good option there as well. Excluded players too. Why are they excluded? I must have clicked off them at some point. Anyway, they are both decent enough options at centre-back as well. If we go to right-back, now Bakari, the big unfortunate news of pre-season is that Bakari, probably first day of full-time training, sprained his knee ligaments. He's been out pretty much all of pre-season. He's still our first choice right-back for now, but missing for the start of the season, unfortunately. Chester could play there if we end up signing it, but Jake Nichols is going to have to be the man we rely on to get us through the first couple of rounds of qualifying in Champions League football. Can he do it? Possibly. Denham and Gosney can also play there. The big weakness we have right now is at left back. I've been looking to try and sign people. No one is really available. No one on our shortlist is available to sign. I might have another go at Newton. But unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. The reason, too, for Follerant, he actually signed a new contract with Middlesbrough, and then they transfer listed him, which is really frustrating. Otherwise, we could have just signed him on a free transfer. Lewis and Williams can play left back, but as I said, that is a real weakness right now. We really need to get somebody in there. Hopefully, Glennon stays fit, or else we might be in some serious trouble. And the goalkeepers are Louis Gray, and of course, the new guy we got in on loan, George Radcliffe. So let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. We will, as I said, we do have time to sign a lot more players. Transfer window is nowhere near finished. But unfortunately, right now, we don't have any other players coming in. One out that we did have was Kane Lewis. We knew he was leaving. And if we look at players that we've released this summer, Liam Edwards is gone. Jack Kelly is gone. a couple of youngsters as well, and Lynch, the sort of the original goalkeeper, backup goalkeeper, is also left. Liam Edwards will probably find himself a new club relatively quickly, but I don't know, and Kelly probably will as well, but I don't know about the other guys. They may end up retiring. So there we go. Let me know what you think. Will we be able to beat the Estonians? We'll find out Monday, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Aussie Villain. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.